I'm a professional trainer and facilitator who works with large corporates, startups and government agencies to show them how they can use design thinking across their whole organizations to improve their innovation. This course is targeted at those with no design thinking experience, or maybe you've gone through some courses, you're familiar with the framework, but you're just wondering how you can take away some of the tools and exercises and implement it into your work. In the course of my work, I'm often asked, is design thinking just a buzzword? Does it add any value? The truthful answer is yes. In the past 5 years, it has become a bit of a buzzword, but rightly so. Firms who implement it dramatically increase the number, not just the number, but the quality of the ideas that are generated to lead their innovation. There are many definitions of design thinking, but I like to call it designing with the user in mind. That's the main difference that design thinking has. Historically, designers used to think, what do I think the customer needs? Steve Jobs is famous for saying the customer doesn't know what they want. However, I believe that if we work with the customers, we ask them what challenges they're facing, what do they need to get the job done, then if we design solutions that meet those needs, they've got a much greater chance of success. So what we have with design thinking is a section called Empathize. And Empathize really looks at the user research. How do we find out who our users are? What are the challenges that they're facing? How can we help them with their jobs? We take all those ideas and then we brainstorm and we ideate and we come up with creative solutions that would solve their needs, and then we take those and we prototype them rapidly and iterating until we get the final product that can go into implementation. The rest of this course will follow a step-by-step process with a common challenge, one that we can all relate to, and we'll see as a group what we can generate at the end of this course. Before we get started, let's go back to the basics. What exactly is innovation? Again, there are many definitions, but I like to describe it as implementing creative ideas that add value. So where design thinking helps is with the generation of those ideas. Then you get other frameworks like Agile and Lean that deal with the implementation side. So as we go through this course, we're going to look at what are some of the challenges that we're facing and how do we generate better ideas to create solutions for those problems. And when you think about innovation, it's everywhere in our lives. You probably woke up this morning to a smartphone alarm. You might have put on a Spotify playlist as you were getting ready. Then you might order some breakfast from a food app before calling a taxi to work through one of the ride-hailing apps. Now, most of what I've talked about are what we define as products. And products get most of the headlines when it comes to innovation. And rightly so. As humans, we like shiny, new products. But I don't want you to think that you have to come up with a product for it to be innovation. We can take a process. Now, most of us in our jobs have some part of it that's manual. That's filling in a form, that's writing down on a sheet. Something that takes 14 steps and you go, if only this could take 6 or 7. So rather than just looking at a product, we can look at a process and go, where can we make efficiency gains? And again, you've probably got them in your lives when it comes to public transport. There's apps to show when buses are arriving, where hotspots of people gathering are. You could go in Singapore, we can look at our local park and see where people are congregating and where the quiet spots are. So we've got products and we've got processes. Now the other one is business model, which some people call diversification. So again, if we use the ride-hailing apps as an example, they have drivers, the drivers have cars, so we've got existing infrastructure, so how can we leverage on that? Most of them then have gone into food delivery service. And then they can go into couriers, and then some into bus rides. So for the rest of this course, we're going to take you step by step through the framework, working on a relatable challenge and giving you the tools and exercises that you can start working on tomorrow.